Hello and welcome to the Interior Savings Across the Lake Swim website. This and the following videos are intended as your online orientation to our event. Please take the time to go through these to help the day go smoothly and to keep everyone safe. And don't forget to get back to our website regularly for updates. What should you expect? The following video will walk you through this. Since we need you to get to the park early, get something to eat, but not too much, and not too much coffee, unless of course you're planning to warm up your wetsuit. Get to City Park early. Between 6 and 6:30 is good. Once this parking lot is full, remember there's 500 swimmers, you might be looking for parking down Leon or Lawrence Avenues. Have your bathing suit on before you get there, as there's no access to changing rooms there other than a small restroom near the beach. Don't forget to bring your wetsuit with you, your race-numbered swim cap, your goggles, and your signed waiver, which you'll be trading in for your race chip. Put your race chip on before you lose it, on one of your ankles. If you lose your chip, you will pay some ridiculous amount of money to replace it, and you won't get a time for the swim. And yes, the chip can be covered by your wetsuit. If you want to store some gear, like warm clothes, towels, and shoes, to pick up after the swim, go to the Interior Savings Gear Corral near the beach, where you can drop off your numbered save-on bag for safe storage. Your hand will get marked with your race number to identify you when you pick it up after the swim, or you can just use your race cap. Next up, you're going to have to find the ferries. They are at the north end of the park, and you will have to board them in bare feet. You must have your race chip on your ankle. We have our only timing mat there. Since we need to account for everyone who enters the water, all swimmers must cross this mat before the swim. Make sure you get to the ferries early and come to the right sailing time that you picked at registration. You will need your colored ticket from your race bag that identifies which sailing, not which boat, that you're on. It takes time to both load and unload 250 swimmers. So if this race is going to start on time, it will depend on how quickly swimmers get on these boats. Get there early. There are 2 scheduled sailings, at roughly 6:45 to 7, and then again at 7:15 to 7:30. Any spectators that have bought tickets will be on the 7:30 sailing only. The houseboats take 12 to 15 minutes to cross the lake, and then they return for a second load. So you have to disembark quickly. You will be asked to jump into water between 5 and 15 feet deep. You cannot leave any gear on the boats, so don't bring anything extra with you. That's what the gear corral is for. If you are on the early sailing, you have time to swim to shore and yak and use the porta potties. We encourage you to do a little warming up, to get used to the cool water, to get your shoulders moving, to get your game face on, to listen to some starting line announcements, and to get a sense of where you're swimming, what landmarks you're going to sight with, like the mountains, the trees in the park, and the big yellow arch. If you have a support paddler, now is the time to find each other. It is good if the paddler has something distinctive on, a big hat or horns, a bright t-shirt or vest, balloons off the bow, that kind of thing. Powered watercraft are not permitted as support craft. Paddlers need to stay clear of the ferries. Yes, a few words about the paddlers. There are those marshalling the race, and there are ones supporting a specific swimmer. Pay attention to the following 6 points. First, paddlers, please meet by 6:15 at the south end of the park for a last-minute orientation before crossing the lake. The starting area on the west side may be inaccessible. Second, paddlers need to stay on the perimeter of the swim to stay out of the way of swimmers as much as possible. Therefore, swimmers with a paddler should also swim near the periphery of the path of swimmers. Third, paddlers need to have all the requisite equipment for safe escort of all of our swimmers, including a bailing device, a whistle, a tow rope, and an extra life jacket. Sunblock and a snack and maybe water would also be a good idea. Fourth, paddlers must be sufficiently experienced to provide safe escort for their swimmers. This is the responsibility of the swimmer who signed up the paddler. We don't want to be rescuing paddlers on race day. Fifth, paddlers are also likely to be the first to see anyone in trouble. Safety is always our first priority out there. So if a paddler notes a swimmer in distress, they must signal to the nearest powerboat with lifeguards for help. The signal is simply holding a paddle horizontally high in the air while using their whistle or shouting to the lifeguards nearest by. Sixth, paddlers should all enter the water at the south end of City Park and paddle across well before the swim begins. The 4 houseboats that shuttle swimmers over to the start will accompany the swim for spectators and as a protective barrier from boaters from the north side of the swim. Along both sides of the swim will be 10 power boats, 2 for each wave, with each boat carrying 2 lifeguards. They and the kayakers will be the eyes on the water while the swim progresses. The RCMP will patrol the south side of the swim, covering the portal under the bridge for the duration of the swim.